Hi, this time I want to talk about good game master or dungeon master description as well as good player description. When it comes to the difference between game master description and player character description, some nuances are quite evident, but there are some guidelines to follow. When it comes to the dungeon master or game master, the description can get a bit more complex because you are not only describing the actions of the non-player characters, the appearances of many different things in the world, pretty much you are describing everything. But there is a good way to go about this, and there is a pretty lame, terrible way of doing things. When it comes to some old school style modules, they actually give us some good examples of these sorts of situations that you want to avoid. When it comes to the good examples of the old school modules, perhaps you are reading through the module of a mega dungeon, typical huge adventure site complex, and you see the description of a room, and it says, "These are the Elven barracks. There are 3 Elven soldiers polishing weapons here." That's all you need to know, because every other detail you can obtain through roleplay. But then if you take a look at several of the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition modules, it has been exposed, that the writers get paid, or rather ordered by Wizards of the Coast, to use as many words as possible in order to raise the page count of the book and therefore charge more for it. So you could have books like Curse of Strahd that perhaps only require half as many pages. But because they use so many unnecessary things, the book bloats considerably. So you could have modules that could have been perhaps 100 or 50 pages, but because they want to charge more for them, they end up like 200 pages or more, 150 or so. If that situation of the Elven barracks were to be written by Wizards of the Coast, it would be something like, "A room with elegant furnishings. There is a table. It is brown and has a black spot on it. The bunk beds look average. The sheet on one of the bunk beds has been removed to the side. One of the pillows is blue. The other 3 pillows are red. One of the Elven mercenaries has a mole. Another one has long hair, and his shirt has been unbuttoned at the top. His sword is decorated," you see, and that's why the description of many newbie game masters, or even game masters that have been playing for so many years and never understood this, is so terrible. You're going to put your players to sleep, and there are some fake role players that are only participating in tabletop RPGs in order to get that ASMR experience. They fall asleep while the game master is reading a story, and then the game master wakes them up. "Hey, you need to make a strength check." Oh. And they make the roll, and they go back to sleep while the game master reads a bedtime story to them. Terrible. Lame. You must describe the essentials of each encounter. The creatures, the environment, perhaps 1 or 2 details and most, and that's it. Everything else will be gathered through roleplay. I examine this, I look at this, I pick up this, everything through roleplay. I try to remember if I have seen this object before. I try to remember if I recognize this person. Everything through roleplay. Everything. And that's how you achieve immersion. Now, moving on to the player description. Here, most of the time, the problems come from a disconnection. The player never gets into the role of the character, never thinks as the character, never acts as that character. There is such a terrible disconnection sometimes. Every time you see mediocre, atrocious roleplay, it is because the person simply cannot connect with the character. Oftentimes they lack the intelligence or the imagination. Perfect textbook example in the case of when I forced Shonner to show how he was a fake role player. I'm going to put the video in the description to those horrible examples. Take a look at all of my players in my actual plays. They achieve roleplay immediately. They are not hesitating. They are not, they are here in the present, in the now. The few instances when they went, I'm gonna, I will, I immediately corrected that as a good game master, because a good game master is going to help the players achieve that immersion. A good game master does not let those things slide because of weakness of character. When it comes to player description, you are describing your character's actions in the present. That is it. This doesn't mean that you have to rush things. Of course not. If you come upon a dangerous puzzle and you know that solving that puzzle in a careless way is going to cause some sort of explosion, you're going to be very careful about your actions. Maybe you take some moments to think about that. And of course, even though you are thinking as your character, you are also playing a game. An intelligent, imaginative role player can achieve that fusion of role and game. You want to win the game. You want to succeed at your task. You want to complete the quest, the mission. But you also want to do it within the framework of your player character. Using your skills, your powers, your abilities, your spells, everything to your advantage, because you are also playing to win. You are a winner. But it's not in the board game sense. It is in the living, experiencing the fiction sense. So, thank you for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts about good game master and player description. Any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Remember to check out my RPG Essential Concepts list in the description, the playlist. This has been Abraham El Jaguar, and remember, roleplay solves everything. Once again, thank you, and see you later.